Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Binary Life, and today we're going to solve another coding challenge called complete the pattern number 1. Now it looks like this. You have to write a function pattern which returns the following pattern. See examples below up to n. Now let's see examples below. This is an example here. This is a pattern. Examples are here. If we say pattern 5, we get a triangle like this. So you can see we write 1 1 time, 2 2 times, 3 3 times, 4 4 times, and 5 5 times. We are basically building a triangle. If it's 11, the same scenario, something like this. Hints, use /n in the string to jump to the next line. If I see the example below here, I can see pattern 2. So this triangle is just to represent it visually, but the output string will look something like this. We write 1 and then /n to say we're moving to the next line, then we write 2 2. You can see for pattern 5 here, the same thing. So that is basically it. Note, returning the pattern is not the same as printing the string, printing the pattern. That's what I was explaining. Rules: if it's less than 1, if n is less than 1, return an empty string. So we can just deal with that automatically. If n is less than 1, let's return. With the return statement, it won't even go to the next line. So that's it. There are no white spaces. That's clear. So now let's code the algorithm. So I have to actually loop through this one. There's a sequence of looping that has to go on. If it's 5, it means I have five cycles to do. At every cycle I have some printing to do. So I have first of all a cycle to do. If it's 5, that means I have 5 lines to deal with. That's a 5 cycle if you wish. So I'm going to create a for loop that starts at 1. Because remember, if it's less than 1, we are done. It starts at 1 and ends at or equal to n, because we can see 1 to 5 is included here, and it goes, I can just put some space here, and it goes incrementally. So what do? When we enter the loop, if it's 1, we print 1 time. If it's 2, you see there's another cycle here. We have to loop 2 times and print 2 times. If it's 3, we have another 3 cycle printing. If it's 4, we have a 4 cycle printing. So the cycle just goes incrementally as the number goes bigger. So what does that mean? That means inside here there'll be another cycle to print each line. So this first loop is to go 1 line after the other. Now inside I'll have to do another small arithmetic or algorithm to deal with the printing that goes on within a line. So how can I put it? I just create a variable called my line printing. Something like that. I starts at 1. Why do I say 1? Because here I'll print 1 time. Here I'll print 2 times, so it goes 1 2, and here I'll print 3 times, so it goes 1 2 3. So you can see the increments. All right, it starts at 1, and where does it end? It ends at I. Why does it end at I? Because as we are going through the triangle, when we are at, let's say 3 I is 3 at that point, so we're going to print 3 times, so I times. That's it. So I have another for loop here. Or I can just say I can even use a while loop. Why the line printing? Why the line printing is less than or equal to I? What do? I'm going to concatenate in the output. So in the output, I'm going to concatenate So when we are at 3 what do? We're going to print 3 times and add it to the output, for example. So this is why I put this plus equals concatenation. I'm going to concatenate I inside. So it's going to go one time, and then I'm going to increment I. Increment the line printing because I'm still in the same line. So it's going to add a number to an output. Remember, output is a string. So let's do some small demonstration here. Let's go to my Node.js console. If I do something like the string 4 and I add 3, you see it returns 43. So it's actually concatenating. This will become a string. That's what is going to happen here. Initially output is a string like this, and then we'll concatenate I, which is a number, remember. So it's just going to concatenate the different numbers here to build that up at the end of that while loop. So this while loop actually is the construction of the line. That's what I call line printing. When we are done with the line, we can then add inside the output, we can then add the end of line, something like that. So let's test the code. Expected this to equal this. Okay, so it actually, when it was testing for one, it actually built this, and then it came here, it added this particular one. But I think where the problem comes from, you can look at this test cases. When it's 2, we have 1/n, then 22. We don't have the /n at the very end. So for the very last figures, we don't have the /n. That's it. Here 1 is the last figure, so we don't need to add the /n. So I have to do another verification here before adding the /n. If when I arrives at n, or if I is different from n, that's when we add this. In the case it's n, automatically it won't add it, so I think we should be good to go. Fine, that nails the thing. And I can just attempt to see if it works. For all test cases it works, and let's submit our solution. And let's just see rapidly what other people have to say. This looks like a shorter way to do it. I think I was breaking down too much. This looks like something we did. The first for loop to go after every line, and for every line we do another for loop. In the case that we use the while, it's the same thing. And then we check to not add a line break. To add a line break only if we are not at n. Alright. I don't think he needs to add this because it's going to end automatically because of this condition here. I think so. Alright. Repeat. That's a great thing. Repeat I don't know how repeat works. Push. Repeat I. Let's just test it to see. How does repeat work? Let's just see something in Google. Repeat, it looks like something that's interesting. Repeat JavaScript. I mean, instead of looping, maybe we could have repeated something. It looks like a very practical function. Let's look at W3 school. Sorry, my internet is a little bit slow. Right, so we have a text like this. So if I say text does repeat 2, I think it repeats it twice, I guess so. Let's try that. So I have my number, it's equal to 3. So if I say number dot repeat 6 times, what do we get? Oops, sorry. I need to put number to be equal to 3 in a string format. That's it. So let's repeat this. See, it repeats 6 times. That's actually cool. Yeah, that's something we just learned. So I'm going to go back to the code and refactor. Let's go back to my profile. And let's come to solutions. I'll just try to use repeat. Let's see. Alright, machine freezing. Alright, let's go to my solutions. I'm already there. This is what we just solved. Let's just refactor the code and try to use repeat. Right, this is our code here. Let's just make it full screen. So this one prints the lines, and for every line there's a certain repetition we need to do. So I'm just going to comment all of this. So inside our output, what are we going to do? We're going to add I repeated, I converted to string because we can only repeat a string, that repeated a number of times, repeated I times, I think so. And then that's what all this code does. We take this number, we repeat it. If it's 2, we repeat it 2 times. If it's 3, we repeat it 3 times. That's what we're doing actually. So this is a number converted to a string, and then we repeat it, and then we concatenate inside our output. So this code should actually work. Let me remove all of these lines like that, and just remove happy coding to make it shorter. Right, and let's just use this modern JavaScript decorations. All right, so if I come back out of the full screen so that I can test my code here, let's test the code again. It does work, so we'll just learn something. Repeat, that's cool to learn. Let's submit one more time. So I'm going to stop here for today, and see you in another challenge for another algorithm.